Hi everyone. I decided to make a quick video because I just got off an online appointment. I was planning on doing one video with all my appointments from the week, but I got so much information I thought it would be better instead of having a really long video just to do some short videos instead. So today's appointment was basically an educational appointment. It was supposed to be in person, but because of COVID-19, it was done online. I met with a nurse. She was really, really nice. Her name was Mallory. And I had an online appointment with her to go over a chemotherapy. So I had some really good, helpful information that I wanted to share with you. So I wrote it all down. She told me a little bit more about the drugs that I'm going to be having to take. As I said in my first video, it's a combination of drugs, or maybe my second video. It's a combination of drugs. It's called R-CHOP. She told me that they would be giving me like a handout with all the names of these drugs and what they do when I go in for my appointment. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write those down under this video once I have that information. I don't have it yet. She told me what they were, but I'll probably misspell everything if I try and do it myself. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to let you know what each of those letters stands for, what the drug is, what it does, but I'll do that once I have the handout and I can type it in for you. She did say that I would be having to take an additional pill after my chemo for 5 days after each treatment. So that is an additional pill. I need to take 2 of them each day after I have my chemotherapy. I will be having 6 rounds of chemotherapy. The day after my chemotherapy, I have to go back for a shot. So I have my chemo on a Thursday. The first appointment is supposed to be about 7 to 8 hours long. So just FYI, be prepared. You'll be there 7 to 8 hours at your first chemo appointment. She told me I could bring food. I can eat before my appointment. So she said she actually recommended that you eat before your first chemo appointment because you know, you're nervous, your stomach's upset. It's good to have food in your stomach when you get there. So my appointment's at 8 in the morning, so I'll have to have breakfast before I go in and take food for lunch. And she said they have some snacks there, but you know, bring your own food. You can also take electronics. You can take an iPad if you want. Just make sure you take earbuds or headphones so you can watch videos or, you know, do whatever you want. She did say that I was allowed to take one person with me, although I don't know who. I mean, if they want to come, fine, but that's a long time to be sitting in a chair 7 to 8 hours. So anyway, it's a 7 to 8 hour appointment for the first one. Now, after each appointment, as I said, you have to go back the following day. So my chemo is on Thursday. I have to go back on Friday. And on Friday, I get a shot, and it's, I don't know which drug it is, but she called it a fertilizer for white blood cells, and it's supposed to prevent infection. So that is something you do the day after to help prevent infection, since your white blood cells are low. And you also receive a steroid too. So they're going to be giving me a schedule. She also said I'll be receiving 2 different types of drugs for nausea. She said that I should not be experiencing a lot of nausea because I will be taking those 2 drugs. But if I do experience nausea even after taking those 2 drugs, to please call her. She said that I should not be nauseous, and if I am, they will adjust my medications, so hopefully I'm not experiencing that. And then she went into the side effects. So the side effects that she mentioned were fatigue as being one of the primary side effects. I will be tired. Nausea and vomiting is another side effect, but she said you should not be throwing up. If you're throwing up, call me, she said. So hopefully you know, if I'm having issues with nausea and vomiting, they can help me take care of that, so I'm, you know, a lot more comfortable. Diarrhea and constipation are both possible also. She said for diarrhea, you know, I could do Imodium and to call the office for that. For constipation, maybe Miralax, that can be taken over the counter if I have constipation. Also, if I have any, you know, pain, body aches or anything like that, Tylenol is fine. She said that I could have a change in taste. I might not be able to taste foods correctly, and you know, sometimes things might not taste good, but I can eat anything. One of my friends had mentioned that, you know, sugar is bad to have, that I should not eat sugar because it feeds the cancer, and she told me that that is not the case. She said that you can eat, you know, whatever you want to eat if you feel like eating it. So I don't know if that's only certain cancers or if that's just a myth, but she told me that that is not the case, that sugar is okay to have. No raw foods though, so we're not supposed to have any, you know, like raw seafood, oysters or anything like that while in therapy. Once done, it should be fine, but not during treatment. It's possible to get sores in your mouth, and if that were to happen, baking soda and salt as a mouthwash is fine. And then hair loss, of course, is another issue, or what do you call that? Side effect of the chemotherapy, which we know. I made an appointment to get my hair cut this week. It was supposed to be on Thursday. Today is Tuesday. And they just shut everything down again yesterday. So now I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get my hair cut. So if I can't get my hair cut, I'm going to let my kids do it. So I'll keep you posted on that, because she did mention that, you know, I will lose my hair. She said that after the first treatment, it's going to thin out quite a bit. And after the second treatment, it'll probably all be gone. So I wanted to, she also mentioned that if you cut it shorter, it is emotionally better for the patient to not lose, you know, long, if my hair is really, really long, to not lose long hair. Short hair is a little less traumatic. So that's what I was planning on doing, you know, from the beginning. But I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to. So stay posted on that one. She mentioned also that it's possible to get brown spots on your nails because I guess the nail dies. And numbness on the fingertips and toes is normal. So numbness in the fingertips, numbness in the toes, that's something that's normal. Lowers your blood count, as I said. Now, if I experience a fever of 100.4 or higher, I need to call immediately. Any fever could be a sign of infection, and the doctor will tell me what to do. Depending on my circumstance, I might have to go to the ER, which is why I don't think I mentioned this, but my oncologist has in Stanford, Dr. Advani, has a colleague who works in Monterey, which is closer to where I live. As I said, Stanford's a couple-hour drive, and Monterey and Ryan Ranch is only 30 minutes from where I live. So the oncologist that's going to be treating me is actually in Monterey, which is much nicer for me and easier for me to get to. And her point in doing that was because if I do have an issue and I have to go to the ER, at least I'll be here local and I won't have to drive 2 hours, you know, to get to the ER. I can just go here locally. So any temperature over 100.4 has to be called in regardless of what time of the day. Middle of the night, we're supposed to call them. And then they tell us what to do. Diet, as she said, no raw meats. Wash veggies, watch fruit, which most people do anyway. She says you can exercise, although we might be tired. She said at the beginning, though, at the start, when you first get your steroids, you do have a lot of energy, and you might want to have a nice clean house because you're have so much energy. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that I get a lot of energy and I can get my house in order. That would be better than feeling miserable, so we'll see. avoid sick people, of course, which is why I have to take time off from work, because I can't be around, you know, a lot of germs, and then the COVID thing is just not a good idea for me to be at work. This next comment, PG 14 or 13 or whatever it is. So if you are sexually active, she said that sex is okay. Just wait 48 hours after chemo, because the chemo is still in your system. So if that applies to you, wait a couple days until after chemo for sex. Medications that I'm going to have, I am going to be able to pick up at my doctor's office, which is really nice. Anything additional that they have to prescribe to me, you know, they will make it available at my local pharmacy. But for now, the ones that they know that I need, I can get them right at the office. She said that the steroid that gives you a lot of energy, if you need, you might have trouble sleeping after your first treatment for a couple days. So you could take Benadryl or melatonin to sleep if needed. We went on to talk a little bit about, you know, the hair loss thing, because one of the things I was considering is possibly getting a wig, and she said that you can get a prescription for that. So your insurance might cover the purchase of a wig. She's going to send me the information, or have one of the nurses contact me with the information and with my prescription, so that I can go out and try and find one and see if hopefully my insurance will cover it. But if you go and buy one, it won't be covered. You have to have a prescription for it in order to get coverage for it. So if that's something that you're interested in doing, it would be worth asking for a prescription for it. So hopefully, you know, if not all of it will be covered, at least some of it will be covered, and that's helpful, because apparently they're pretty pricey. I have not been wig shopping yet. I saw some online, and I know the American Cancer Association has like a wig shop. You know, it's kind of hard, I think, to purchase without trying stuff on, but there is one. American Cancer Society has one, and I found one on Facebook where the wigs were like $29, but kind of nervous about buying those, and it's like buy two get two free. I'm like, ooh, I can get a whole set, but I don't know what the quality is like. So I might just try to get a couple of those just to try them out, and just kind of let you guys know how those work, if they're any good, if they're worth it. I wasn't actually even thinking about getting a wig until very, very recently. I just thought I'd get some cute scarves or something, and some hats. But now I'm thinking about possibly looking at one. So if I find any, I'll let you guys know how those work out, if I like them, or if how they look. Maybe I'll show you, and you can tell me what you think of them. Okay. And they did go ahead and schedule my first treatment, which would be next Thursday. But I still have 3 more appointments this week. I have to have a blood test, I have to have my port put in, and I have to have my heart test. So they have to look at all those before I can even start treatments. But I think they're assuming everything's going to come back fine, and they went ahead and scheduled me for next Thursday. Today is Tuesday, so I might be starting my chemo as soon as next week. But I will keep you posted. I just didn't want to, you know, post a video that was too long, and I had planned on doing just one video with everything that happened this weekend. I just have so much going on this week, it might just be a super long video. So instead, I just decided to just make this one quick one, and we'll see what happens after the next one. And I'll see you then. Thanks. Bye.